we want. A choice. A chance.
There's your chance. Take it.
Grateful.
The day will come when you won't be.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with some really awesome episode breakdowns. Each episode is broke down for season 7B, the season the back half of season 7. And as always, guys, this is from the TheSpoilingDeadFans. And I will leave a link in the description to go check them guys out. As always, they are awesome. They're always pretty much spot on with everything. So, but like it does say on here, it says they believe that most of the information is accurate. Please note that anything can change by the time the episode airs. So we'll get right into this. Episode 709, the mid-season premiere. It says highlights. Team Family has a meeting with Gregory about fighting the Saviors. He will most likely turn them down. Maggie's potential leadership is looming. Jesus leads Rick, Carl, Michonne, Tara, Rosita, Sasha, and Daryl to the kingdom to meet Ezekiel, where Rick tries to convince them to join the war. Rick's attempt fails and they leave. Daryl stays. Rick and company encounter a herd on the highway and also find explosives, likely the same ones in the promo pics. Should be an explosion in this scene. Father Gabriel encounters the mysterious Boots from episode 8. This is speculated to be a new character from the Garbage Pail Kids. We are supposed to find out her identity later in the episode. Boots is rumored to take Father Gabriel along with a bunch of Alexandria's supplies back with her. Saviors, led by Simon, go to Alexandria, likely looking for Daryl. Rick, Michonne, Aaron, Tara, and Rosita go looking for Father Gabriel and encounter the new junkyard group. And that's everything for episode 9. Alright, episode 710. Highlights. Rick's group goes back to the new group's headquarters at a junkyard. Rick is forced to fight a crazy spiked walker in their junkyard fighting pit, which we saw in the promo. This is supposed to be some kind of test to prove Team Family's worth. Rick wins. Rick tries to make an alliance with their leader, Jadis, in order to help grow his army against the Saviors. By the end of their encounter, a deal is made. Rick is asked to bring the Garbage Pail Kids more guns in exchange for their assistance. Richard is still desperate to fight the Saviors. He devises a plan which involves leading the Saviors to Carol and baiting them into killing her. He thinks her death could encourage Ezekiel to agree to war. Daryl supposedly goes along with this plan until he learns Carol is the target. This is supposed to trigger a fight, which can be seen briefly in the trailer for 7B, where Daryl's beating up somebody. Daryl finds where Carol has been staying and visits her. The two share a hug or two and talk. Carol cooks for Daryl. We do not believe that Daryl tells her what happened with Glenn and Abe. He ends up leaving the house and goes back to the kingdom. It is rumored that Daryl makes friends with Shiva. Episode 711. Highlights. Most of the episode appears to take place at the sanctuary. Eugene cooperates and is put to work for Negan. He supposedly gains status, which grants him access to some amenities. His experience at the sanctuary should be much different than Daryl's. Dwight visits a house which belonged to him and Sherry before the zombie apocalypse. We think something will happen here that might start of what will become Dwight's turncoat arc of the comics. It will be revealed who wrote the note who helped Daryl escape, and it was Sherry. It's speculated that Dr. Emmett Carson, the doctor from the sanctuary, will take the fall for Daryl's escape and be killed. Episode 712. Rick and Michonne go on scavenging for guns at a school, which happens to also have a carnival set up there. Military trucks and tents were also at the filming location. It says Rick and Michonne will share some sexy time as well as moments of levity in this episode. Rick has a close call while fighting a large group of walkers and almost doesn't make it out alive. Rick, Michonne, Tara, Rosita, and Father Gabriel make a visit to the junkyard, presumably to turn over guns they scavenge as per their agreement. Rosita visits the hilltop to enlist Sasha's help with something. Episode 713. Sasha and Rosita apparently go rogue on a mission to the sanctuary. Seems like they are on a suicide mission to take out Negan on their own. There's a scene where Rosita and Sasha set a car on fire. Then later, another scene where a few saviors are herding walkers into storage containers using water jugs to cover their heads. Rosita and Sasha take out these saviors. Sasha makes it inside the sanctuary, while Rosita does not. There are rumors that Eugene gets an opportunity to be rescued but turns it down. What's going on there, Eugene? Question mark. Saviors come to the hilltop to take Dr. Harlan Carson. Maggie and Daryl have to hide and are almost discovered. There's whispers in this episode that it will be revealed that Jesus is gay. Episode 714 highlights. According to the information listed in casting calls and other rumors that have surfaced, both Richard and Ben die in this episode. At this time, we think Ben's death will be caused by some shady dealings from Richard during a supply drop. We'll call it Mellongate, quote unquote. It's believed that he will stir up a conflict between the Saviors and the Kingdomers as another attempt to get Ezekiel to fight back. But Ben will end up paying the price with his life. Morgan was seen dragging Richard's body. We believe Ben's death will trigger Morgan to regress back into crazy mode, and he will kill Richard as a result. His life wasn't all that precious, was it, Morgan? It's speculated that Morgan will go back to Carol and eventually tell her what happened to Glenn and Abe. Carol filmed at the Kingdom, so it appears she goes back to encourage Ezekiel to fight. Episode 715 highlights. Tara ends up breaking her promise to Cindy and tells Rick about their group. They travel to the ocean side with a large group of Alexandrians. Since they brought such a large group to the ocean side, it seems that their initial meeting might not go entirely peacefully. We suspect there will be conflicts and the oceanside women might not agree to fight. However, Team Family does appear to get a hold of their weapons. Supposed to be some really cool ocean walkers in this episode. Sasha will become Negan's prisoner. Very possible we could see a remix that comic Holly scene where a savior makes an aggressive advance on Sasha. Probably won't end well for that savior. Alright, episode 716, the season 7 finale. Alright, it says highlights. Negan catches word about Rick gathering an army and heads to the Alexandria safe zone with his savior troops. Sasha and Eugene are also with him. From what we have heard, Sasha does not arrive alive. So probably like the remix on the Holly death, because in the comics he brought back Holly with a bag over her head and ended up, once somebody took the bag off, there was a walker and ended up biting somebody else. So I'm sure they'll remix that in some way or some form or fashion, I'm guessing. There's also rumors that Michael Cudlitz came back to film for the finale, most likely a flashback / dream sequence involving Sasha's death. The Garbage Bill Kids are also at Alexandria Safe Zone, and filming reports suggest that they do fire at Team Family. Looks like they double-crossed our heroes and fight alongside Negan. Episode is basically a chaotic battle. Lots of gunfire, smoke, and possible explosions. Rick and Rosita are supposedly shot. Injuries do not seem serious. Eugene tells Team Family they should surrender. Appears to be siding with the Saviors. Come on, man, it says in parentheses. There's whispers of a possible remix of the second lineup scene from the comics. We are hearing it would be much smaller and might only involve Rick and Carl. Negan might attempt to Lucille Carl, only to be saved by the Kingdomers. It says Shiva in parentheses with a bunch of exclamation marks. At the last second, they'll be saved. Hilltoppers eventually join in on the fun while they arrive a little later. Michonne filmed on a large crane during the finale. This appears to be a remix of Andrea's tower scene from the comics, only it will involve Michonne and a member of the Garbage Pail Kids. Saviors and the Garbage Pail Kids were both witnessed retreating during filming. The battle has been won and the war has officially begun. Reports of speeches, chanting, and cheering during the filming. Looks like the end of the episode will be everyone rallying the Alexandria Safe Zone, the Hilltop, and the Kingdom together, ready for all-out war. Alright, guys, that is the rundown for the second half of Season 7. And if this is even remotely close to being true, which these guys are pretty dead accurate, like I said, we'll find out. This sounds about right. Like I said, they break this shit down. They follow the filming and everything. So I would be willing to bet that the majority of this is gonna be spot on. And if it is, they're setting up Season 8 for All Out War, and it's gonna be freaking awesome. I cannot wait to see how it's gonna unfold on the screen. But with that said, guys, we got 20 days until the Season 7 is back. So Yes, it's almost here, guys, but I just want to get this out here and let y'all guys check this shit out. It's pretty damn awesome. If you love spoilers, you came to the right video. And like I said, thanks again to the Spoiling Dead fans. As always, those guys are freaking awesome. So go check them out. Link is in the description. All right, I appreciate y'all checking this out. Like I said, as always, guys, leave a like if you enjoy what you heard and you're excited for the second half of season 7. Comment and let me know, what y'all think about these spoilers, and if y'all want to put any more input, and most importantly, subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Appreciate it as always. I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Welcome to Woodbury.
Pushing my pants yet?